Hi, Rupert.
Hi.
My name's Jim,
Hi, Jim.
and I'm still confused by love. Uh, so when I was doing the meditation today, I feel like I can separate myself from my thoughts and what I think is my being. It's very still. It's formless. It's just there. And when I go out, and so when I went out today after the meditation, I was looking at plants and I just felt like I was part of that and they were part of me. But I don't sense that there was any love. I don't, is that love? I'm not sure. What, and when I see people here and they're wonderful, but I don't know what that shining light is that's supposed to be emanating from me and from other people from their being. I don't
Jim,
see
don't
that.
pay any attention when I talk about the shining of being. I'm just a frustrated poet. And,
I feel like I should have a superpower or
no,
something.
not at all. Not at all. Not at all. But you understand what I mean. If instead of talking about the shining of being, I would speak of friendship. You understand what I mean by that?
Yes.
So in
But
friendship,
it feels just very peaceful.
doesn't sound too bad to me.
Opposed to,
You're just peaceful and ordinary. That's it. That's the nature of your being, just peaceful and ordinary.
that's love?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Love doesn't have to come with a great ecstatic feeling. In fact, the great ecstatic feeling is not really the love itself. It's the expression of love at the level of the body or the mind. But love can also be just very quiet, just this quiet feeling that at the deepest level you are one with the other. It might not come with any emotion attached to it at all.
Yeah, that's what I'm used to.
That's perfect. That's fine, Jim. That's fine. Some people are more given to kind of ecstatic expressions of love, and then some people are quieter. They just feel this quiet sharing of being.
Oh.
That is equally love. And friendship is one of the ways it expresses itself, but it doesn't have to be the shining of being. It doesn't have to be something extraordinary or ecstatic or glowing. It can just be this quiet sharing of being. You could I have this nice friend. He's an Afghan man who lives in Oxford. He drives me to Heathrow from Oxford. It's about an hour or so. Every time I come on these trips, and we've known each other for years, 10 years or so. And so I get into the car. I always ask him about his two children. He's got two young boys. They're growing up, going to school in Oxford. So we have probably 5 minutes of conversation. He asks me about Matt. I ask him about his boys, and then very quickly we just fall into silence, and we just drive for an hour in silence, and then at the end I just pay him and thank him very much and tell him when I'm coming home again and wish him well for 3 weeks. And there's, looking at it from the outside, one would think that there was hardly any connection between us at all. One would think that I had just sat there in silence and he had sat there in silence and there was no communication. But it's not like that at all. Mm-hmm. I feel such love for him, and I know he does for me as well. But we never express it we express it in this quietest. It's so friendly when we see each other. We just give each other this warm smile. We never do more than shake hands. We never hug each other or anything like that. He's from Afghanistan, I'm from England. So, but there's such a depth of love between us. But no one would know from the, well, you would know from the outside if you observed closely, but you wouldn't, most people wouldn't even notice. That's love.
And both of you recognize
Both of us recognize it, absolutely, yeah. Absolutely, yeah. And we both know that we know, and it's not necessary to say it. I don't get out of the cab and go and check in and think, oh, I didn't really express what I felt to Ali, or no, he knows what I feel, and I know what he feels, and it's not, in other relationships, it is necessary to express it verbally or physically or in other ways, but in this relationship, it's not, it's just very quiet. Actually, it was a little bit like that with my father. Not as quiet and formal as it is with Ali. There was more connection, but he was of a generation and a certain type of kind of reserved English man, and there was a kind of formality to our relationship, the complete opposite to my mother. My mother was, oh, beloved this and darling this, and then it was complete opposite. But the love that I shared with both of them was, and that I felt from both of them, was exactly the same. So, Jim, if you're more inclined towards kind of quiet friendship, walking in nature and you see a flower and you just feel that the essential being of the flower and the essential being of yourself is the same, but you don't need to write an ecstatic poem about it or even tell anyone about it. You just feel it and keep on. That's fine.
Well, I feel that with people too, and I'm all sometimes accused of not loving because I'm not so demonstrative.
Jim, I think by the end of this week, you might find that your experience with people is going to change. I don't think you're going to be accused of being unloving by anybody here this week, because nobody here is going to expect you to demonstrate love in a particular way. But everyone will here will feel the quality of. I felt it as soon as I saw you both walk in yesterday. I felt it immediately with you. Everyone will feel it about you, just that in you it's a little less ecstatic than it is in others, but no less powerful. Everyone will feel it. We can all feel it in your question already. We can all feel it in this conversation.
That's very nice to say. Thank you.